Reasons why men choose to stay single nowadays. Reason number 1.
I've got a body count of 1 million and my street name is Throat Machine.
This is just degenerate. Most women lack any principles and values nowadays. Reason number 2.
I have 2 cats and I'm a head of marketing.
Most women put cats in a career before family. Why would a man put up with this behavior? Reason number 3. Becky can't even bloody boil a cup of tea. Most women cannot cook. Again, unattractive.
There is no doubt that men are opting out of relationships, work, and education, and this is having a devastating effect on men, women, and society. I want to talk about why men are opting out and going to MTA, perhaps not as much on women. I'd like to talk about that. I now produce numerous videos on this topic. I pay close attention to the issue and consume a lot of media, and men are leaving. In addition, it is not merely a minor occurrence. Losers are not the only men who are unhappy and dissatisfied with their circumstances. No, it's not even close to that. This is taking place everywhere in Western civilization. Relationships with women are not for men. Women have stepped into these roles, but they are not suited for them. Men are not building families or careers, and women have stepped into these roles. Truly, it costs more cash to help ladies in these useful jobs than they produce, and it's overwhelming to society and civilization. We can also see that this cannot continue for long, but let's just talk about some of the specifics. Okay. In some of my earlier videos, I talked about how during the Great Recession of 2008, men lost 3/4 of their jobs, mostly in manufacturing. Now, some of you heard this and said that manufacturing jobs are irrelevant. A high-paying office job is much more important. That is not entirely accurate, because it encompasses more than just the goods produced by the manufacturing class and the productive work they performed. And it's not just that they help the families that make up the population, which is what makes up your real tax base. Additionally, the office job is much more suitable for a single person. The problem is that men cannot keep their office jobs. I apologize, guys. It matters not how good you are. You won't be able to keep your office job unless you are willing to act like a complete bit of blue pill. You'll have to abandon your masculine physiology to accomplish that. Look at the older men if you don't think it will get that bad, if you don't think it will go that far, if you don't think it will get that bad. In that setting, and be aware that the situation is only getting worse. So women are doing well in the workplace. Is that correct? She only needs to voice a small concern about this other guy, his attitude, or how he makes her feel. Therefore, this is how sexually empowered women are at work. That is the extent to which we, as a civilization and as a society, prioritize the needs, desires, and emotions of women. That is what is prevailing, and particularly in an office setting where production takes a back seat. It's mostly a different factor. Work is not being produced by men, because women cannot do that, so you couldn't if it were, hardly at all as successfully. As a result, the men are effectively driven from their hunting grounds. Even though it may sound odd, that's exactly what it is. This is an extremely fundamental, instinctual sort of thing going on. As previously stated, this is not a single instance. It has occurred in all Western civilizations, which do not even have replacement population growth rates. What kind of argument do you intend to present? That, in my opinion, is excellent, buddy. That's awesome. Although you are truly magnificent, your civilization is in decline. You can also determine how long it will take using a straightforward linear extrapolation. So, what are you referring to? We also can do the same with our finances. You can also do the same with yours. You can also simply project it outward. Where will you be in the future if things continue as they are? As a result, we want to make changes, and men are now leaving their jobs. On the plus side, some of them will turn things around and start their businesses. Most of them won't start their businesses because they needed the system. And I apologize for putting it that way. Please allow me to discuss the educational system, because the same thing is taking place there. Both the boys and the men are being expelled from early education. The boys are being conditioned and demonized because they are boys. They are being drugged and humiliated. They are assigning grades based on submission, conformity, following the rules and conformity. These aren't characteristics of men. Those are not the qualities of a strong male child. I apologize for saying that, but what the heck, right? It's as if you're taking the strongest and healthiest males and punishing them for their actions. So you're ruining your best and leading by example. For the others, you are instilling a retarded deferment to female desires from an early age. It is repugnant. And the men all around it give in because they want to be liked by the women as well. As a result, everyone in society feels like they are being held hostage and they must act cautiously. Additionally, once the women take control of your educational system, they will demonize the boys, not teach mathematics, and want to grade things like sitting still. Consider it. Little Johnny is very good at following instructions. Consider that. So, just like the people who want to get married and have kids, here you are. Now that you have a son, he is very good at staying still and doing what you tell him to. Is it a good thing that he is so adept at that? Therefore, men are not eager to do that. Okay, let's look at the legal system. Do I need to say anything at all? Failure to pay alimony can result in jail time. It's like the only nation on earth. Men face jail time if they fail to support a woman for the rest of their lives. Take a look at it. Some of you may be thinking, oh, Howard Dare, he's just some loser complaining about women, as I'm sure some of you are. So you fall in love with a woman, maybe have a child, and then you break up, right? Isn't it true that you'll have to contribute to the cost of that child's upbringing? You are, of course. Okay. That's fair, isn't it? I'm scared. Your child. Now, suppose they decide that you must pay her more than $2,500 per month to care for the child and her. If you've had some difficult times and are unable to do so, you can only give her $1,500 per month for a while. Right? You are headed to prison. What do you think? Yeah. But seriously, how come you're going to jail seriously? Therefore, men are leaving. What makes a man consent to that? She might divorce him without a good reason. He must pay to care for her for the rest of her life after he takes his children, his house, everything he has worked for, and his reputation. Or he goes to jail with someone he hates. Great. Overall, men's submission to women and women's willingness to manipulate men through sexuality. Additionally, men are deserving victims of their biology. They are even unaware of the situation. They simply want to hear, yes, honey, yes, dear. They then desire to have sex. The entirety of our society is geared toward taking care of these kinds of people, not toward production, efficiency, or building a future. Instead, it is geared toward satisfying the temporary whims and desires of a privileged class that hates the people who support them, shame them, and manipulates them. You have completely incentivized these entitled princess bitches. Because of this, MGT0W has to be here to provide men with this insight, the philosophy that underpins it, some pointers on how to navigate it, and the knowledge that they are not alone.